Hey guys, it's Melanie Hines. How are you? The light is really pretty right now, so I decided I'd go ahead and do this really quickly. So the breaking news out of Iraq is Iraq's fiber internet jumps 410% in 2024. Again, I went through all these details. There's a pipeline leak that shut down Iraq's West Kurna 2 oil field, which is one of their biggest oil fields. That's the one I think Exxon was going for, so we'll just wait and see. Iran's currency falls beyond 124K per dollar. So I don't know why they're talking about Iran's currency, because it's neighbor of Iraq maybe. Rafidian Bank Branch faces closures over irregularities. We all know that those banks were chosen as part of the CBI as those correspondent banks, and they were audited alongside the CBI and the government of Iraq. So I don't know if this is a truthful article or not, but it is an article and I did discuss it. Oil prices oil prices rally as the G7 moves to ban Russian maritime services. Everybody's excited about that. Iraq leads barley production among Arab countries. And then Iraq's customs revenues hits historic 1.67 billion mark. So they've got customs revenues that are new, 1.67 billion's worth. They're leading in the barley production of all the countries over there. And so that's diversification of revenues. Remember, they were a rentier country before. Now they're producing all these other things. They also want to do a gold city. They're basically diversifying their income as everybody's asked them to do. So there was a lot of good news today. Also, I went through more details on my live stream, and then we checked the rate. There was no change for the IQD to USD. The Forex on the digital dinar was lower. It was 0.33. And thankfully on our Zoom, one of the Forex traders was on, and he said there is some play in the digital market, but it still will go on Forex. But Forex could be completely revamped and we would not know it. We think because of that article, he got the article too, that states that the CBI gave the Forex the rate at 481.01, but it's on the back screens because of the new systems, we think, because it's a new digital blockchain system. So nobody really knows, guys. We're not going to know until this is released. So just keep the faith. And then Frank26 said yesterday, thank God the United States of America that Donald Trump's people are in Iraq right now. That's why every day the news is so delicious. It's so delicious. He said, I'm going to become diabetic with all this sugar. I just thought that was funny. Militia Man said they're going to have interconnectivity. We know about the ISO 222, the SWIFT MX. Those are big things. Fun Lou goes, I'm telling you that according to the Internal Revenue Code, you decide how you want to pay the tax on your exchange. You can either choose capital gains or personal income. It's your choice. I don't know how to be more plain than that. Smart people will use a CRUT, charitable remainder uni trust, and pay only 10% and defer payment for 20 years. Guys, you have to consult your tax professional on those questions. I would never listen to somebody, summary like this on the internet, on YouTube. Consult a tax professional. For my members, I'm going to have my trust and estates attorney, who is also used to be a CPA, come and talk about what your options are from a legal trust and estates attorney perspective. I'm going to be doing that for my members only once this happens, so that we have the money to do that. I don't want to do that until you have the money, because it takes $3,000 to $5,000 to even sit with an attorney. I have to talk to them anyway, but I just thought you would know that as a membership side of my channel. Also, Fun Lou. I just talked about that. So let's see. In Soudani's speech, Frank26 said this. In Soudani's speech, in there, he said the next regime will have a managed float, and then he talked about it. That's just no end to the many ways they're telling them that they're about to get their purchasing power, and it's probably because it's so close, and also because Soudani wants to keep face. He had a promise, but also everybody knows we're there. Mountain Goat. Call to Iraq, contact told them their CBI has been told by the Finance Committee to hold off on removing the zeros until the issue with the U.S. around the Iranian saga are agreed to, and at least how this will be handled. That's probably why their currency declined. Let's see. Oh, they're talking about the Development Road project. Sandy Ingram mentioned that. We all know that's gonna spur a lot of jobs and economy in Iraq, because there's 19 special cities that are going to be built along the Development Road. So that should be interesting to see as we go forward into this new year. Also, where were we? Wolverine. Wolvie says he'll be fully under an NDA in a few days. That was today. Redemption centers are ready for December, January intake. The current window, as people focus on the holidays, is ideal. Now, I'm going to move this a little bit. Maybe you won't get shadows. I've got trees and I've got my phone and I've got the light going down here. Let me put the light on here. Sorry about that. I can't tell with the, I don't know. So anyways, then you've got fun. No, I'm not even going to do that one. So Frank 26, he continued today and said, it turns out Iraq's put all the stuff in the Gazette. They've been looking for 2 Gazettes. I'm hoping we get to see them pretty soon because in my opinion, they contain a lot of the information we're looking for concerning the exchange rate. It was exciting yesterday. See Frank's post. I read that already to you. We come to find out that if Iraq is on the Gazette talking to citizens of Iraq, in his opinion, Iraq has found a place where he can express himself freely because it's under the cover of the Gazette, because the Gazette is not owned by Iranian politicians. This is where the fake media has been hurting the Iraqi citizens with false information. We all know that they're not going to come out and tell you when this is done. It's just going to happen. Even I was listening to I discussed this on my live stream. The Lord led me to listen to Brandon's, that Last Days channel, 247. I was listening to him about his prophecy. He was saying, don't get greedy. If you're expecting 20 million, you'd only get $1 million. Be happy with the $1 million and focus on growing it. Again, that's what we do with our mastermind members. We're there to focus on growing whatever we get because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, but I would not shy away from even just getting $1 million from this exchange. That is a lot of money. And if you do it right, and you invest it correctly, you can grow it. So that's what we're going to be focusing on once this is done, once we go to the base. That's the mastermind members. We meet every Monday at 11. We started meeting early because, there's so much going on in America. There's so much going on. So we talk about everything. We also did a Q&A session today. So that was very interesting. Militiaman. I also updated you on everything from my perspective going on that I don't talk about here on YouTube. I talk about that on my membership Zooms. Militiaman, he said, we can see Iraq is executing because they have 112 to 116 billion in reserves. They have 171 tons of gold. They're telling you all these things that support the value of their currency. They have the new Escuda system. That's the educational system. 60% of the corruption has been alleviated. That's all about money going back into their treasury. All of that supports a real effective exchange rate, and that quiet tell, just like the Bank of International Settlements and a lot going to the Bank of England, getting the nod for that, then the application for it, they're not blatantly saying, hey, we're going to come out at X, we're going to do something, but they're tying it in. You can see by what they're doing. They can't come out and tell you guys, but you can look at the evidence for those of us who've been studying it a while. So I hope you'll subscribe, tap the bell, comment down below. What was your favorite part? Please join us on a live. I'll be live tomorrow twice. Once I'll be earlier in the morning because I have an appointment at 9 that I can't miss. It's my mental health appointment. There was another article that I discovered at the end because of some of my intel sources. There's a blood campaign underway to map the fate of the ISIS victims. I wanted to just put this at the end because it's old victims. I mean, they're going to look at their graves. They're going to try to identify those people, which is really kind of sad. And then they mark the anniversary of al-Assad's fall with a call for inclusive national. It was the Syrian Democratic forces. They are in flux in that country. Some phases have been liberated, some haven't. So pray for all our servicemen. There are military servicemen over there in Syria. You've got our prayers, especially if you're part of our group. And then there was in Syria, first Iraqi city to join UNESCO. It's a learning city inductee. So Iraq, first city to ever be asked to join the UNESCO. That's a learning center inductee for 2025. That is a feather in their cap. It's always good, guys. Iraq is very well rounded. They have if you were to take into account all the CBI articles I've been following over the years, they're doing really well. They have the most up-to-date banking system. We think it's digital and blockchain. So what do you think? Comment down below. Guys, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow early, 7 to 7:30 a.m. Is that okay? Eastern time? Because I got to be off by 9. And guys, I'll also be live tomorrow night at 5 for margaritas and manifestations. And I look forward to seeing you there. Goodbye. Love everybody. Bye.